If you've considered hiring a virtual assistant, in particular a virtual assistant from the Philippines, in this video, I want to dive into something that Natalie and I have been very, very pleasantly surprised by, and that is their work ethic. So we're going to talk about that in this video. If you find this interesting, there is the full-length video with our entire conversation that we'll put in the description down below. But stick around because that's what we're going to be talking about in this video.
Jumping ahead, I know we also wanted to talk about work ethic. It's amazing. I don't even know where to go with this. And actually, on the note of time zone, one of our first employees, she was trying to be really receptive and always available to us. And we didn't realize, because we were just, as we came up with tasks or had a message for her, we were sending it like anytime we thought of it. We realized she kept her notifications on and it was like pinging her awake, but she wanted to be available to us at any time. And we actually had to set some of those boundaries to say, like, no, it's really important to us that you're getting sleep and have regular hours. You don't need to just be at our beck and call all week for any hours. We want to make sure there are some boundaries around that work ethic. And if anything, that's what we've found is that, and this is specifically for our employees in the Philippines, which I don't think we actually mentioned. We've talked about overseas, but all of our employees are in the Philippines. Culturally, really, really strong work ethic. And I feel like when we give a challenging task or project, like you can just sense like they are very committed to making sure that they're meeting expectations or exceeding expectations. It's awesome.
Yeah, and I tell this story every time when we're talking about work ethic, but this is our buddy Tyler had this happen. And I'm going to start by saying, can we all just acknowledge that Americans, we are all very entitled. We live in a wonderful country.
Not all, but
Yeah,
let's just
I mean, I feel I'm entitled, and a lot of people, we just are like, we expect a lot and we want things our way. And we have this culture of comfort and everything, which has many benefits. But I think that a lot of people that are entrepreneurs or business owners can relate to the idea of like, I just can't find good workers, you know? Yeah. And one of this story with Tyler, he said he had I don't remember the names. I'm just going to say Joanna. Joanna was one of his receptionists that they had hired. And he gets a call because Joanna was the manager of another receptionist that they had hired. And Joanna calls Tyler and says, "Hey, Tyler, I'm curious if I can take the second half of the day off today. I already called Susan. Susan can cover for me. I'm just curious if that's okay." And Tyler, was kind of confused and was like, "I mean, I guess like thank you for covering your shift. Just out of curiosity, like what's going on?" And Joanna was like, "Well, my sister was in a car accident and she's at the hospital right now and I want to go see her." And he's just like, "What? Like, why are you even talking to me right now? Go now. Like, are you serious?" And I just think, like, if you think about what that what that means and what happened, she gets a call that her sister was in a car accident. And then she's like, "Oh no, I better get my shift covered." And then she calls and gets it covered and then is like, still not sure if it's okay to go. I feel like when I heard that, I was like, in America, you could just like drop everything and go and then tell your boss 3 days later, "I'm so sorry, I had to go see my sister who's in a car accident." And most bosses would be like, "Oh, okay. I mean, yeah." But I mean, if it was happening all the time, that would be different. But that's just an example of like, they take this so much more serious than most Americans, in my opinion. And again, I just think that that's just I'm using that as a crazy story or example of people that want to impress and work hard and put in the time and grind, whatever you want to call it. And then you mix that work ethic with a loving and caring boss that actually cares about them getting a better quality of life. Yeah. And you can get some really, really hardworking people overseas.
Yeah. And the hiring market and all of that probably makes a difference too. To your point, a lot of cities in the US right now, there are labor shortages. And so people feel like I can kind of hop around and just like, blow this job off and go to the next one. And so maybe that's a component of it. But when you're providing job security and you're making sure that virtual employee knows that they're part of the team, they're going to rise to that occasion and impress you. At least that's what we've experienced, because they're really valuing that role.
Thank you so much for listening. And if you're curious and want to find out or watch the entire episode, we'll put that link down below. If you are a painter, please consider subscribing to the channel. We also would love to chat with you about optimizing your business processes. So find the links down below, get in touch. We'd love to help. Our mission here at Boolean is to free you up to do what you love. Thanks so much for watching.